So now you understand how muscle growth works. You can start to apply this concept to your training at home. The key is to recognize that you need to create micro tears, you need to create metabolic stress, and you need to challenge yourself with increasing weights. You then need to ensure you get adequate rest and protein so your body can build this back up. And here's where the discrepancy comes in with a lot of home workouts. Because if you're simply picking up a weight, curling it 10 times and then putting it down, you aren't really doing anything. All you're doing is using up some fast twitch fiber and some slow twitch fiber to move a weight 10 times. You're building up a few metabolites and you're maybe causing a few tears, but it's not enough to see rapid growth. You need to train like a bodybuilder. What does that mean? Well, it means you need to cause maximum stress and damage to the muscles and really challenge yourself. And that in turn means thinking outside the box and getting creative. The 1970s are often referred to as the golden age of bodybuilding. Back then, you had a lot of big names elevating the status of the sport. You had people such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, Lou Fegriano, Frank Zane, Sergio Oliver, etc., etc. A lot of this popularity could be credited to media mogul Joe Wider, who observed these bodybuilders training and examined the techniques they used to trigger growth. He codified these to create the Wider principles, which included such things as supersets, burns, force reps, etc. And if you've ever trained with a fitness instructor, you may have come across some of these techniques. At the time, neither Joe nor the bodybuilders he learned from necessarily understood the science behind these methods. Instead, they trained intuitively by listening to their bodies and starting to recognize the signs that a workout was working. But as it happens, all these techniques were either causing muscle tears or they were causing pump, and we can take some of these and apply them to our home workouts to make them much more effective. In particular, I'm going to be looking at one of these techniques and then a variation on it, and it'll change the way you train forever. Seriously. So, what's the technique I'm talking about? Well, that would be the drop set. Now, a drop set is a routine where you start with a heavy weight, probably something you can lift for about 8 to 10 reps. You then perform your repetitions as normal until failure. Then, when you've reached the point where you can't lift the weight once more, you simply lower it slightly and then carry on. So, let's say you're doing curls in a gym. You might use an approach called running the rack, which means you'll move down the rack until you reach the lightest weight. So you might start with 15 kilograms in each hand and perform 6 to 8 reps. Then you might put those down, immediately pick up a 12-kilogram weight and perform 5 reps. Then you'll put those down, pick up 10 kilograms and perform 6 reps. Put them down, pick up 8 kilograms and perform 5 reps. Then finish on 4 kilograms and perform just 4 reps before collapsing. That's one set. You'll need to repeat this whole process 3 times. So why is this so good? Well, simple. It's causing the maximum amount of muscle damage and it's swelling the muscle up with metabolites. When you start out, you're lifting a heavy weight and you're going to perform 6 to 8 reps. And this is as many reps as you can muster, so you're forced to engage a lot of muscle fiber, specifically the fast twitch kind, which will exhaust quickly. Then, once those fast twitch fibers are exhausted and torn, your slower twitch fiber will kick in to help. Now, eventually, you won't have enough combined strength to keep going, at which point you can't lift the weight anymore. Around the same time, you'll be switching from the ATP-PC system to the glyconic system, which allows you to go for longer. But you're not stopping at failure. You're picking up a slightly lighter weight and you're continuing to lift. This allows you to engage your slow twitch fibers continuously while continuing to fatigue those very few remaining fast twitch fibers that are still working, making even more micro tears. At the same time, you're now reaching a much longer time under tension as you'll be approaching 20 reps. Your muscles will begin to fill up with lactic acid, creating the burn as a byproduct of the glycogen energy system. You eventually fail as a result, but then you drop the weight and you continue to go. You're now relying entirely on slow twitch fiber and you're starting to tear those too, causing maximum muscle damage. Eventually, it gets to the point where even 5 kilograms is too much, at which point you've caused maximum damage that will lead to maximum growth of all types. It couldn't be more different from simply performing 10 reps of an exercise that you can do comfortably. But this is difficult to do at home on your own, unless you happen to own a whole bunch of weights and a rack you can move down. It's expensive, it takes up space, and it's generally very difficult, although you can use a resistance machine. Instead, let's take a look at a slightly different and better alternative. That alternative is the mechanical drop set, and this is going to be the ultimate tool for breaking down your muscle and for stimulating growth, and most people still don't recognize just how powerful this technique is. The idea with a mechanical drop set is simple. You can't make the weight easier to keep on going down because adjusting the dumbbells is limited and it takes too long, and of course because you don't own a whole lot of weights. So instead, you're going to change the exercise immediately and on the spot to one that is slightly easier. Now, for example, you perform curls to failure and then swap to hammer curls using a different grip, which makes them easier. Then you might move straight to chin-ups, which works the biceps in a similar range of motion, and then to assisted chin-ups, putting your feet on a chair. You've still managed to drop down 4 times and create one giant set, but much more quickly and with just one weight. What's more, you're hitting the muscle from lots of different angles to help create an even more all-round routine. You can also insert some of Wider's other techniques as part of your mechanical drop set. Cheats, for example, are exercises that you cheat on by using a momentum to get through them, etc. For instance, you might swing your body in order to help with a curl. Now, this isn't as good as a proper curl, but as part of a drop set following proper curls, it works just great. Or you might perform burns, just barely moving the weight at the lowest point in the movement because that's all you can do now. Use this technique to create circuits, and as an added bonus, the routine will be quite cardio intensive so as to generate more growth hormones and to help you burn some fat too. The other great thing about a mechanical drop set performed like a circuit? Well, it allows you to fit in a lot more intensive training into a shorter amount of time. This allows you to use a very effective training split, which refers to the days you'll train a particular muscle group. Specifically, the one we're going to be using is the push-pull legs routine, or PPL. This means you'll be alternating between push exercises, such as press-ups and shoulder press, pull exercises, such as pull-ups or bicep curls, and legs, squats, lunges, calf raises, etc. These muscles are naturally complementary, and breaking your workouts down like this will allow you to give each group enough focus to stimulate growth while also giving them ample time to recover subsequently. Your routine might look like this: Monday, push; Tuesday, pull; Wednesday, legs; Thursday, rest; Friday, push; Saturday, pull; Sunday, legs. Or if you're pushed for time, you can train just 3 times a week. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate full workouts for you here for each and every body part because that's your job to come up with, and it would be a waste of time as I don't know what your goals are or what your equipment's like. Instead, here is an example of what a workout for the pecs might look like if you performed it at home. Okay, let's take a start with the push routine. You have 3 rounds. For the pecs, you're going to have 6 times 20 kilograms in each hand, dumbbell flies on the bench. 8 times 20 kilograms, again each hand, dumbbell presses on the bench. Then you're going to do 10 ring dips, 10 clapping press-ups, 10 rocking press-ups, this is where you dip down on each side, and 20 press-ups. Then you're going to do 20 press-ups on your knees, and then a 2-minute rest. Then you move on to the triceps. Now that means 8 10 kilogram tricep kickbacks, followed by 6 10-kilogram dumbbell runners. Now, this is slow motion running, holding dumbbells and fully extending your arms behind. Then you're going to do 15 rocking tricep dips either side, 10 tricep dips, 5 tricep bodyweight extensions, 10 tricep burns, and then another 2-minute rest. Then for the shoulders, you do 8 20-kilogram shoulder press, 6 20-kilogram inclined dumbbell press. Now, use a floor cushion to prop up your back if you don't have a bench. 5 handstand presses, using a wall if needed, 10 decline press-ups, and then another 2-minute rest.